It was supposed to be a cheerful morning on Lorraine, the kind of light-hearted show where celebrity guests laughed, shared anecdotes, and promoted their latest projects. But on that particular Friday, something unprecedented happened, a confrontation so sharp that it left the live audience silent and Lorraine Kelly visibly shaken. Rowan Atkinson, the beloved British actor best known for his iconic role as Mr. Bean, had come on the show to promote his new Netflix series, a dark comedy that explored themes far removed from his usual slapstick humor. Everyone expected the interview to be charming, witty, and filled with the quirky humor Atkinson was famous for. Instead, it spiraled into one of the most awkward and heated exchanges in the show's history. From the start, something felt off. Lorraine greeted Rowan with her usual warmth, but his demeanor was noticeably tense. He smiled politely but didn't seem entirely comfortable. "So, Rowan," Lorraine began, shuffling her cue cards with her trademark grin. "Your new show seems quite different, darker, more serious. Fans are saying it's not the Mr. Bean they grew up with. Why the sudden change?" Rowan adjusted his tie and replied calmly, "Well, Lorraine, people change. I think it's quite limiting when the public expects an actor to remain a cartoon forever. Mr. Bean was wonderful, but he was also a cage, in a way." Lorraine chuckled, perhaps a bit awkwardly. "A cage? Oh, come on, Rowan, you made millions laugh. Surely that's not a bad thing." His face stiffened slightly. "Making people laugh isn't bad, Lorraine. But being expected to behave like a fool for the rest of your life, that's something else entirely." The audience giggled, thinking he was joking. But Rowan's expression didn't change. Lorraine shifted in her seat, realizing he wasn't being humorous. "Well, I suppose comedy's in your DNA, isn't it?" she pressed. "People just love seeing you in that funny light." Rowan's voice grew cooler. "Lorraine, with respect, I didn't come here to be told what I am. I came to discuss my work, not to be boxed into a character I played 30 years ago." The room went quiet. Lorraine blinked, visibly taken aback. "I'm only saying what the fans feel." "Fans," Rowan interrupted sharply, "should appreciate an artist's growth, not demand that he remain a puppet for their nostalgia." There was an audible murmur from the crew behind the cameras. Lorraine tried to recover with a laugh. "Oh, Rowan, you're getting quite serious on me. Lighten up, this is morning TV, not a philosophy lecture." That remark seemed to break whatever patience Rowan had left. He leaned forward slightly, his tone now unmistakably cold. "Maybe that's the problem, Lorraine. The moment someone wants to talk about something meaningful, you reduce it to a joke. That's not journalism, that's pandering." The audience gasped. Lorraine's expression froze for a moment before she forced a smile. "Well, I think we'll just have to agree to disagree there." But Rowan didn't stop. "You invite people on this show to fit a script. You expect laughter, tears, drama, whatever boosts your ratings. But real conversation, that's not allowed, is it?" Lorraine, visibly flustered now, gestured to the producers off camera. "All right, Rowan, I think we're done here. Clearly, you've got strong opinions." Rowan stood up, unbuttoning his jacket. "Indeed, Lorraine. And I suppose that's what makes me human, not a character you can cue to smile on demand." Without waiting for a cue, he removed his microphone and placed it neatly on the table. The studio fell silent except for the faint hum of the cameras. Lorraine's eyes followed him as he walked off set, calm, controlled, but unmistakably furious. "Okay, well," Lorraine said. After a tense pause, forcing a shaky smile, "That was Rowan Atkinson, everyone. His new show is streaming soon, if you dare to watch it." The audience clapped nervously, unsure if they were supposed to laugh or stay silent. Behind the scenes, chaos erupted. Producers whispered frantically, and Lorraine's assistant rushed to her with a glass of water. The live broadcast cut to an unscheduled commercial break, but not before millions of viewers had witnessed the clash unfold in real time. Social media exploded within minutes. Hashtags like #Rowan vs Lorraine and #Mr Bean no more trended across the UK. Some defended Rowan, saying he was right to call out shallow journalism. Others accused him of being rude and ungrateful. When the cameras came back on, Lorraine composed herself and carried on as if nothing had happened. But her eyes betrayed a mixture of shock and embarrassment. What no one expected, however, was that this wouldn't be the end of it. Later that afternoon, Rowan Atkinson would release a statement that shocked everyone, one that revealed there had been a long-standing grudge between him and Lorraine Kelly, dating back years before this explosive interview. By the afternoon, every entertainment outlet in Britain had picked up the story. Rowan Atkinson walks off Lorraine Kelly's show after heated on-air confrontation. The headlines were sensational, but the truth, as it soon turned out, was even more complicated. Within hours, Rowan Atkinson's representative released a brief but powerful statement to the press. It read, "Greater than, Mr. Atkinson's remarks on Lorraine were not spontaneous. They stem from a long-standing issue regarding how entertainers, particularly comedians, are treated in the British media. The interview triggered emotions tied to a previous encounter with Ms. Kelly that left him deeply disrespected. Mr. Atkinson wishes for the public to understand that artists are more than the characters they play." That last line, "artists are more than the characters they play," became the quote of the day. Fans shared it widely, calling it both brilliant and brutal. But what was this previous encounter he referred to? An old video clip soon resurfaced on YouTube. It showed Lorraine interviewing Rowan more than a decade ago, when he was promoting Johnny English Reborn. In the clip, Lorraine jokingly called him a miserable man off camera, and teased him for not being as funny as Mr. Bean. Rowan had smiled politely back then, but now, in hindsight, the smile looked forced. The internet quickly pieced the story together. That moment had stayed with him, quietly, deeply. By evening, Lorraine's production team released a statement of their own. It was defensive but diplomatic. Greater than, Lorraine Kelly's show has always been a space for warmth, humor, and open conversation. We regret that today's interview didn't reflect that tone. Lorraine wishes Rowan the best and appreciates his contributions to comedy. Still, behind the glossy PR tone, sources inside ITV painted a more dramatic picture. According to one insider, Lorraine had been furious after the cameras stopped rolling. She slammed her cue cards down, the source claimed. She said he came on the show to pick a fight, not to promote anything. But another staff member reportedly sympathized with Rowan. "He's right, in a way. We do typecast people. Everyone wanted Mr. Bean, not Rowan the person. It must get tiring." Later that night, during a BBC radio interview, Rowan finally broke his silence personally. His tone was calm, deliberate, far from the chaos of that morning. "I don't regret walking off," he said. "I think sometimes it's necessary to remind people that performers are human." Lorraine didn't mean harm, perhaps, but her attitude represents a larger problem, that once you make people laugh, you're expected never to think seriously again. When asked if he'd ever appear on Lorraine again, he smiled faintly. "Only if we can talk like adults, not caricatures." Meanwhile, social media continued to erupt. Twitter, or X, as it was now called, was a battlefield of opinions. Rowan Atkinson just destroyed morning TV with honesty. Lorraine Kelly finally met her match. He could have handled it better. Walking off was childish. The debate reached such levels that even other celebrities weighed in. Ricky Gervais tweeted, "Comedy is serious business. Respect to Rowan for speaking truth." Stephen Fry reposted the clip with the caption, "When the clown removes the mask, the world panics." By the next morning, Good Morning Britain devoted an entire segment to the incident. Piers Morgan, never one to stay neutral, declared, "Rowan was right. Lorraine's show is fluff. If you can't handle a real conversation, don't invite intelligent guests." Lorraine herself, however, remained silent. On her next episode, she smiled for the cameras, greeted the audience, and made no reference to what had happened. But keen-eyed viewers noticed she seemed more subdued than usual. Her laughter didn't quite reach her eyes. Behind closed doors, ITV executives were reportedly debating whether to invite Rowan for a reconciliation interview, an on-air apology moment. But those who knew him best said it was unlikely. "Rowan doesn't do drama," one of his colleagues told The Telegraph. "He does principles. Once he's made his point, he walks away." Days later, Rowan appeared again, this time in a pre-recorded segment for the BBC, talking about his new show. Calm, confident, and composed, he ended the interview with a line that seemed to summarize everything. "Greater than, laughter is wonderful, but only when it comes from truth, not expectation." That quote went viral again, this time with the hashtag #TruthOverTV. Fans around the world applauded him for standing up against what they saw as celebrity shallowness. Lorraine never publicly responded to him again, but insiders claimed that she later told her team off-air, "Maybe he's right. Maybe we all forgot to ask real questions." And so, what began as a fiery on-air argument became a national discussion, not just about Rowan Atkinson, but about authenticity in the entertainment industry. Because sometimes, it takes a quiet man known for silence, Mr. Bean himself, to speak the loudest truth of all.